Thank you, Mr. Chair. Many ethnic communities look to ethnic media for information about their local cultural community and news articles written through the unique lenses of their ethnic Canadian identity. But they're struggling to survive because of revenue loss caused by the pandemic. Will the Minister of Canadian Heritage be including ethnic media outlets to receive part of the $500 million funding for cultural sectors? If so, how much and which companies will benefit?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the question. In fact, we've already been investing in these media in more than 12 languages in Canada, more than 900 newspapers, 500 radio stations and TVs across the country. Thank you.
Ms. Shin.
Thank you. In doing so, have they been part of then the $30 million ad buyout? And if so, will the Minister provide my office with a public report that identifies which ethnic media companies were included and how much was spent with each? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister.
The answer to the first question is yes. The answer to the second question is we're still compiling that list, but we'll be happily to share it with them.
Ms. Shin.
Thank you so much. My next question, forest fire season is approaching British Columbia, and a wildfire in the midst of stringent social distancing measures would require a unique plan to ensure a safe evacuation. What is the Minister's emergency evacuation plan for forested urban ridings if a fire disaster were to take place?
The Honourable Minister.
Please let me assure the member opposite that our emergency preparedness work with provinces and territories is ongoing, and in light of the COVID pandemic, a number of additional measures are being taken, but we are prepared to respond to any request for assistance that we receive from any of our provincial jurisdictions. Thank you.
Ms. Shin.
Thank you. The village of Belcarra in my riding is a densely forested area. If a forest fire were to start, it could potentially consume the entire riding. Currently, Belcarra only has access to 1 hour's worth of water to put out a forest fire, and there are only 2 narrow roads for evacuation from Belcarra. So far, Belcarra has been safe because of luck and good providence. The limited water supply issue must be resolved, especially during this pandemic, with added complications. Over a month ago, the Mayor of Belcarra put forward an application to seek government support to build a water reservoir in the village. Will the Minister of Infrastructure return my request for a phone or Zoom call and discuss this urgent need for infrastructure support with the Mayor of Belcarra? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, a very important part of our work of emergency preparedness is making investments in communities right across the country to reduce and to mitigate the impact that wildfires and flooding can have in all of our communities. There is certainly consideration going on in investments through our infrastructure spending to invest in communities when those requests would come in. When they come in, they will be assessed appropriately and responded to as necessary.
Ms. Shin.
So in response to that, Mr. Chair, I would just like to ask for commitment soon on when that time would be, because there is urgency in this. My next question, many business owners in my constituency are struggling through the pandemic and feel left behind because they hire contract workers and don't meet CEBA's $20,000 payroll requirement. Other business owners don't qualify for CEBA because they've been paying themselves through dividends, and dividends don't count towards payroll. Will the Minister of Finance extend CEBA qualifications to include these business owners so they too can have a chance at saving their businesses?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the honourable colleague for questions. Our government has been working around the clock to develop those programs, and CEBA is one that is helping many businesses. I know that already more than 535,000 businesses have applied for CEBA, and we're continuing to look at how we can help those businesses who fall in the cracks, and we will continue to do so.
I would just like to add to that these asks have been coming for a long time and they're getting very desperate, so I hope the response will be very quick. Despite CECRA, many businesses are still challenged with paying rent because landlords are opting not to participate, and recent surveys show only 1 in 5 landlords are opting in. Will the Minister of Finance amend CECRA to incentivize more landlords to participate so Canadian businesses can survive? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And again, another great question that was asked by the member. You know, this is unprecedented challenge, and I know many businesses are having to make sacrifices they never imagined they needed to. Our government is encouraging landlords to do their part and help tenants like you, your examples, to get through this. And many landlords have already stepped up to the plate, and we will continue to encourage with the program we've set up.